Welcome back, young professionals. What if I told you that you could have the same mind as Albert Einstein and Elon Musk? Seriously, the key to some of the greatest minds in history is not in their schooling or investors, but in their use of mental models. Mental models are thought processes that the super successful adopt as a way of processing everything going on in the world around them. Where the average person may see a jumble of complaints, the successful use mental models to see opportunities. In this video, I will give you the top 7 most used mental models of the highly successful that you can add to your own arsenal of success tools. If there's a mental model you've used that's not in this list, feel free to share them in the comments, as well as which mental model from this list you're most anxious to try. And be sure to stick around to the end of the video where I will give you a bonus mental model sure to start you on a more focused path of success. Number 1. First Principles Thinking. This mental model, used by Tesla founder Elon Musk and Socrates, is all about breaking down the complex. By asking a series of questions, typically whys, practitioners of this model get to the bottom of the problem. If they want to make a luxury vehicle affordable, they start by taking the luxury vehicle apart until they've gotten down to the basic structure. From there, they can look for opportunities to change the vehicle's makeup in order to reach their intended goal of a luxury vehicle that costs less than the competitors. Number 2. Pareto Principle. More famously known as the 80-20 rule, this mental model runs on the idea that despite the numerous possibilities within a given situation, 80% of the outcome is dictated by 20% of the causes. This mental model comes from Pareto's observance of how 80% of Italy's land was owned by 20% of the people. Today, the Pareto principle can be seen in many areas where the belief is that mastering a core 20% of a program will lead to your success with 80% of the entire program. Homing in on the core opens up wider opportunities to be successful. Number 3. Eisenhower Matrix. Sorry, not Neo, but this mental model is sure to make your decision on which pill to take a lot easier than his. Famously attributed to former US President Dwight Eisenhower, this mental model uses 4 categories to distinguish between which tasks are important and which ones are urgent. Important, but not urgent. Decide when you will do it. Urgent and important. Do it immediately. Urgent, but not important. Delegate to somebody else. Not important and not urgent. Do it later. By using an objective perspective, this model helps streamline productivity, eliminating wasted time and maximizing effectiveness. Number 4. Compound interest. Likely the most commonly heard mental model of the group, compound interest is usually thought to be a financial concept. However, this simple concept, nicknamed the eighth wonder of the world by Einstein, is effective in any area of life that is worth investing time and energy into. For instance, let's say our goal is to read a certain number of pages per day. It may just be used to get through one book, but by hitting your goal, you open up the possibility of reading more books in less time than it usually takes you, enlarging your knowledge and value. Compound interest plays on a long-term approach, but is one of the most successful mental models adopted throughout history. Number 5. Circle of Competence. Warren Buffett's go-to mental model centers on the fact that it's not about knowing everything about everything, but rather, through honest evaluation, realizing where you're knowledgeable on specific items and where your limitations are in the same regard. Let's use cars as an example. Buffett would say that it's not important to know everything about every car that's ever been made. Instead, if you are really into Ford Mustangs, he would advise you to know everything you can about Ford Mustangs. Your circle of competence, and through regular evaluation, realize where your knowledge of Ford Mustangs is lacking and needs improvement. This checks the ego while also ensuring focus is on what's most important to the individual. Number 6. Second and third order consequences. Similar to compound interest, this mental model looks at the long term. In second and third consequences thinking, decisions are based on what comes after the first expected set of consequences. Many people are well aware of the possible initial consequences of their actions, but successful people hold off on making decisions until they have thought through the second and third. Keeping a mindset focused on a further point down the road helps an individual prepare themselves early on, and not have any possible issue derail their success at a later date. It's preparing for the rainy day, even if it never rains. Number 7. Principal agent problem. Wait, how is a problem going to help me be successful? Well, I'm glad you asked. The principal agent problem is a mental model many successful people use because it helps them in hiring and designating workloads. The core concept is this: if you want your agents to do just as well at their jobs as you expect them to, eliminate the possible principal agent problem by ensuring that everyone is on the same page and understands what's expected of them. Many times, an individual will hire someone to just fill the space, but they are soon disappointed because the agent doesn't have the type of work ethic or values that the principal has or expects. Retraining or rehiring costs time and resources that could have gone to advancing the overall objectives. Adopting this mental model helps keep your team optimal and focused. Now, before we get into this final bonus model, I want to thank you for coming this far in the video. If you found any value in this material, hit the like button, and if you'd like to learn more tips and tricks of the highly successful, be sure to subscribe and turn on notifications so that you're the first to know when I upload new videos. Now, without further ado, the bonus, which is the hard choice model. We make countless decisions every day, from the mundane to the crucial. But did you know that how we go about making those decisions helps or hinders our success? The hard choice model is a mental model that not only breaks down decisions into crucial elements, but also factors in a person's confidence. A decision that you're confident in will likely be made faster than a decision you're not as confident in. With this model, you break a decision down into its impact and available options. From there, the decision is placed in one of 4 quadrants: low impact, high number of options that are easy to compare, aka the no-brainer decisions. Think jeans to wear to work. Beyond the dress code, it really doesn't matter which pair you pick. Low impact, high number of options that are difficult to compare. Here you have to eliminate the options until you find the best one for your overall goals. If you also needed steel-toed boots, you may get overwhelmed with their variety at first. But thinking about comfort and price, your options should dwindle until you're able to make a more confident decision. High impact, high number of options that are easy to compare, all boils down to executing the decision. If you have to drive to a meeting, but you can do it in a wide variety of ways, it's likely a no-brainer about which mode would be the best option. Who needs a tank to go discuss spreadsheets? The key factor here is actually making the decision, aka your confidence in what you decide to do. High impact, high number of options that are hard to compare requires the most work because you can't make the decision until you've done some serious homework. The good thing is that you should look for feedback from others and really break down the elements involved. This decision quadrant is the most challenging, and the attention necessary could lead to paralysis of analysis, so you'd have to give yourself a deadline for when the decision absolutely needs to be made. And there you have it, the top 7 mental models used by the world's most successful people. Thank you for watching. If you found this video useful, please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Check out our Instagram, YPL_YT. Thank you, and see you in the next video.